Hello narrative theory people. Today I'm going to talk just a little bit really quickly about narrative theory in How to Survive or How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe by Charles Yu. What I really want you to know is that a lot of the books we read are metafictive. In other words, they're fiction writing, about the process of writing. And certainly this book is clearly metafictive. It seems to be just as much about the writing process as it is about any particular story out there, or the story of how a world is created is part of the story in this novel. You just have to look at moments when the young Charles Yu, the narrator and character, is spending time with his father, and they're drawing on paper and writing things and actually creating this time machine. But what is the time machine? Perhaps a novel. Perhaps a science fictional novel. I think the thing to remember when we're reading this is that not only is it metafictive, but in some ways it's meta-narratological, so it's appropriate that we're studying it in this course. I think that, for example, we really have to remember that it's called How to Survive, or How to Live Safely, in a science fictional universe. Not how to live safely in a universe of the future, how to live safely in a universe where there's time travel, but how to live safely in a place that's actually fictional, that is a narrative. And again, you just have to look at little terms in the book. Chronodiegesis, for example. The time machine is a chronodiegetic machine, and we've been learning about diegetic levels. Diegesis essentially means telling. So a diegetic level is a level of telling. Chrono obviously means time, so we have the narrative time. So this time machine is moving in narrative time, in story time. So it's important to understand that this time machine essentially is a narrative machine. And when he's talking about how this time machine works, I think the narrator or the author or somebody is talking about how narrative works. I think that's all I'm going to leave you with at this point, other than the fact that there's an interesting term, chronotope, which was coined by a very famous narrative theorist, Bakhtin. I think I mentioned him when I was talking about dialogism, monologism, and heteroglossia in last week's session. But chronotope is the time and space of narrative, or it's really how language and narrative expresses time and space. But here we have interesting chronotopic issues, or the chronotope in this novel is heavily invested in the chronodiegetic machine that is the time machine, and that is also the narrative itself, or the novel itself, or the narrative within the novel, the story within the story, and that's the story of yet another story, yet another work of art. The chronodiegetic machine is a machine for creating how to survive, how to live safely in a science fictional universe, which is inside of How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe. So now I've just confused you more, but I just want you to understand that meta-narratological aspect of this novel. Thanks.